This is Lewis Art for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. I'm delighted to be joined with Gareth A Davies. We're
Hi,
here.
Lewis.
You all right?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We're at the AJ Franklin launch. Big, busy red carpet. How are we feeling, mate?
Oh, it's splendid. We are overlooking the north bank of the Thames here from the south. This area has been beautifully changed over the years. It's an amazing place. We're at the L'Art Hotel. It's a fabulous place. It's a new environment in London. AJ always pulls out the stops. Eddie Hearn always pulls out the stops for AJ. It's a 10-year association between them. He's been brilliant for British boxing, and it's always a pleasure to be here in an AJ fight week.
How important do you feel like this fight is for AJ, for his reputation? Do you feel like he's got a point to prove after the last two fights with Usyk?
I think he was very lacklustre in that first fight with Usyk at Spurs. Last August, I was there live working on it and working on the broadcast. He put up a much better performance against Usyk. I thought he was 5-4 up after 9 rounds. But Usyk's boxing skills really showed in the last 3 rounds of the fight, and he just took the fight away from AJ, where AJ's just his IQ, if he can forgive me for saying this, he was outboxed. He was simply outboxed. But there was no shame in that performance. We saw the emotion afterwards. We saw the passion he has, the fact that he couldn't. Let's just give a shout out to our DJ tonight. Come here. I'm pretty sure that Botticelli painted a lot of the angels on your outfit, by the way. Thank you very much for great DJing tonight. It was great to meet you. Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you. Brilliant DJ. One of the great things.
What's your name?
Kennedy Taylor.
Shout out Kennedy Taylor.
Yeah, no, but it's part of the whole vibe around AJ. There's always cool people here. I had a chat to her, and a brilliant DJ. Just the sound here tonight, you've felt it. There's something special about an AJ fight week. He put up a much better performance against Usyk. He needs to make a statement, really, in lots of ways against Jermaine Franklin. But if he knocks him out in 5 rounds, people will say, well, he was 35 in the world. He should have done it. If he goes 12 rounds with him and completely outboxes him, people will complain that he should have knocked him out. He'll be damned if he does, and he'll be damned if he doesn't. But the thing is about AJ, he just needs the win. There's 3 massive fights out there, in my view, for him after this, and he can just walk away then, win or lose. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Joe Joyce. He doesn't need to fight anyone else in this era. All these guys are in their early to mid-30s now, but fight each other. There's 7 or 8 fights that could be made between Fury and Usyk and Wilder and Joshua and Joyce. Make the fights, because they're all brilliant fights. There's 7, 8, 9 fights. Come on, guys. You're all wealthy, but get it over the line.
Yeah, that literally goes on to what I was going to say about, obviously we came out with the Fury-Usyk negotiations falling out, and I was saying, like, you know, no matter what you feel, whether you feel whoever's fault it was, Usyk, Fury, whoever you felt backed out the fight, this is bad for boxing, and I think that's just what you alluded to there.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's bad for boxing, but boxing always has a habit of going along, being brilliant, and then it shoots itself in the foot. It's been involved in this a long time. It always happens. There's no world governing body. Boxing's like the Wild West. It's lawless in lots of ways, and it's the wild running it. So you can blame Tyson Fury for making the conditions too hard for the Usyk fight to be signed, but in just the same way, the conditions weren't right for Usyk, and he didn't want to sign for the fight. So I'm not an apologist for Tyson Fury in this, because he's difficult to negotiate with, as we've seen, because he comes out with these kind of pronouncements suddenly in an irrational moment on social media, and he wants the fight done in the next 4 hours. Doesn't work like that. But that's just him. Behind the scenes, they're working these things out. Usyk wasn't getting the right deal. Fury didn't believe he was getting the right deal. I don't believe that Fury pulled out of the fight. I believe they made the conditions very difficult for Usyk. At this level, when they're earning this amount of money, it's about money and about how much they can earn and about their egos. And when the money's enough, they bury their egos. There wasn't enough money in the fight for the 2 men. Believe me.
Do you feel like patience is starting to wear thin within the British public about Tyson Fury?
In terms of what?
with all these videos and, you know, this fight not happening, people might believe that, oh, he's too difficult to negotiate with, because obviously the AJ fight as well, that sort of failed negotiations, whether you know, whoever you want to blame for that. But, you know, do you feel like the patience is wearing thin?
Yeah, I think patience is very thin, if at all exists at the moment, after people believe that Tyson Fury pulled out of that fight with Usyk. And, you know, there's lots of people saying, oh, I was a Fury fan, but I'm not anymore. It won't bother him, because big fights will be signed again soon and we'll have forgotten it and moved on. That's what happens in boxing, unfortunately. It's the way it goes. I covered Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao for many years. 6 years too late. People sitting over there that were at that fight. Raheem was there as well. That fight came 6 years too late. But it grossed $600 million, you know? But it's a lot of money. We didn't see the guys in their prime fighting each other. Sometimes you don't. Hopefully we'll see some of these guys. That's the travesty with Usyk and Fury. They're both in their prime, both undefeated, and we're not seeing the fight now. That's the biggest travesty of all, for the undisputed title.
Last one from me. Came out today that Eubank Jr versus Conor Benn could be looking for June 3rd.
Why are you whispering that?
Sorry. Eubank Jr. Eubank Jr versus Conor Benn, apparently June 3rd for Abu Dhabi. Just a simple question for me. With this fight being in Abu Dhabi, where it could clearly be a UK fight, is it an immoral fight to make in Abu Dhabi?
It's morally wrong that he hasn't had a hearing, because I go back to this and I repeat this, I'm blue in the face. In the cradle of fight sports, it's an inherently dangerous sport. When you sign a contract to fight, you can be legally killed in the ring. That's why we have to protect every fighter. It has to be health over wealth, and every fighter deserves the right that his opponent is being tested properly. They've bypassed the system here. I don't believe it's right. I will be there covering it, because it needs to be covered. If the tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? You need to be there to witness it. When there's a war going on, you may not like it, but reporters are there covering it. We have to be there to cover it, but it'll be very controversial, very, very watched, but it'll be criticised from first to last if it takes place under the jurisdiction of another body without him having a proper hearing.
Well, Gareth, I know it's been a busy night, but I always appreciate your time, mate. Thank you for making the time to speak to me, and all the best, mate. Thank you.
Well,
Cheers.
You're my last interview tonight, so I'm looking forward to going home now, even though IFL are hovering.
I know. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Cheers.